I was terrified. I was like, only old people are real estate agents.
1099 work. You go hunting and you eat what you kill.
Yeah.
All right, hey everybody, welcome to Hello Haymarket. Today's episode, we're going to be interviewing Miss Lauren Hammond, who has actually done an amazing job this year in real estate. She is a realtor, and actually, before I go too far, maybe I should let her speak for herself. Lauren, welcome to today's podcast. Who are you in 30 seconds? Go.
30 seconds. Well, first of all, thanks for having me. This is so cool, you guys. Like, I'm such a fan of this podcast already, so I can't wait to see where it goes. I'm Lauren. I'm a real estate agent. I work on the Casa Group real estate team with you, of course. Been in the business 2 years now, and started in the business right out of school, out of college. So it's been quite a ride, but it's been awesome. And I've really grown and learned a lot, and I just feel like you guys make me smarter every day, so I'm just grateful to be here.
Yeah, we're grateful to have you. So I wanted to have you on today because until Jason joined, you were the youngest one on the team, right? And I can remember when I started, I had already established myself in a former business, so I had a large database to begin from. And I don't know if you had that or you didn't have that. I know for me it was kind of scary jumping from one business into a whole new thing.
Yeah.
So I wanted to just kind of ask you, why real estate? Why did you decide to enter this industry?
Yeah, so when I graduated from school, my goal was to be my own boss. And now that sounds really cheesy and really, I don't know, doesn't everyone want to be their own boss and be a millionaire one day, right? But what I realized was I couldn't stop thinking about being a real estate agent. And for some reason, it just stuck with me. So I went through school. I was a psych major. I thought I was going to be a therapist. That's where I started literally freshman year. And then, as 4 years went and life changes and you learn so much, I was like, you know what? I just can't imagine being any of these things that I'm thinking about myself being. And real estate kind of came into my mind and it just stuck around. I was terrified. I was like, only old people are real estate agents. Only, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, in my mind, it was such a stereotypical thing that you were older and all these things. So when I finally got through that, I had a lot of people pushing me and saying, hey, just try it. You never know. If you hate it, at least you tried and you can say you did. So I did, and here I am. I love it. And it truly is. I'm my own boss. I make my own rules, but I also have the structure of a team, which is amazing, right? So my goal was to not sit at my computer all day long, which, LOL, we sit at our computers all day long. But I wanted to be able to spend time with my family, with my friends, at home, and I realized in my internships and things, I would spend more time with these people that I didn't know in an office than I would with the people I loved, right? So I didn't want that. If I could avoid that, then that's what I was going to do.
Yeah, totally. One of the things that you said that I want to actually segue through is you decided to join a team, right? So people, when you start in real estate, for those of you who are considering making this your primary income source is to actually be an agent, you have an option to make, a decision to make. You have to choose between going solo, right, or joining a team. And those are two very different career paths. So Lauren, tell us about that decision.
Yeah, so the reason that I joined a team is because I knew nothing, right? Straight out of school, all I knew was TV. Real estate was like what I saw on TV, and we all know that's not really what it is, right? So I needed a handhold. I knew I needed that. So that's why I was like, I'm not even going to look at the solo path, because let me get started on a team. Let me get my bases set. Let me learn. And that's how I ended up here at Casa.
Love it.
Yeah.
So another thing that comes to mind when you're talking about joining a team for real estate is this decision when you're entering real estate, it's not a W-2 job, right? You're not getting a consistent hourly wage or anything like that. It's 1099 work. You go hunting and you eat what you kill.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So tell us how that played into your decision to join a team.
Yeah, that's a great question. I don't even think I fully understood the hunt that it was to be a 1099. Like, coming out of school, I was like, you know what? I still have the security of my family. I'm moving home, so I can take this risk. And then once you really are in it, you're like, oh my gosh, this was a risk. This was a huge risk. And it's scary, but it's actually so exciting when you just swallow it. It's like, if I work really hard, I can make this whatever I want it to be. And I have all my friends and a lot of people in my life are W-2 employees. And I've started to realize, like, oh my gosh, like, I could make more money than them, and they can only make that money, right?
Yeah.
Like, and my world's just expanded so big that I can make so much more money and I can do all these things. So once I got past the fear of it and I really embraced it, game changer.
Yeah. So one of the things that you mentioned, Lauren, was that there is this belief out there that you need to be old to be into real estate, right?
Yeah.
But what you're actually a perfect example of is that when you're young, you have some unique advantages, right? You could still be living at home with your family and use that to segue into this business, right? Because when you're young, most young people are not making millions of dollars anyhow, right? They're either going to be working at, so for example, for you, did you have any other jobs to help you with the transition?
Yeah, I did. I worked at Wegmans. Had been working at Wegmans since I was in high school. So I kept it as my safety net.
Yeah.
And it was a part of my journey getting to this point. I would work, the first year I was working probably 3 or 4 times a week, just because we know in the first year things are slow. And then as my business picked up, I was working once a week, and it honestly became, I didn't need it, but it felt so comfortable that I wasn't quite ready to give it up. And then I finally did. I worked my last shift, I think, in June.
Congratulations.
This past June. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So yeah.
Yeah, because that's something that people, when they're considering it, they're scared of that first year where they're worried they're not going to make any money, or it's that really scary transition. But so when you're young, it's actually can be less scary, right? Because you're already kind of in that situation. You can't really go below rock bottom when you're first beginning in anything.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so where are you today? Where are you this year compared to maybe last year? Did you have any goals that maybe you set that you might want to talk about?
Yeah, so last year I closed 4 transactions, and I was really proud of them. It was 3 listings and a buyer. So in the market we were in, where it was dog eat dog, I was taking listings. So I was like, wow, okay, that's so cool. This year my goal was to triple my production. So my goal was to close 12 transactions, buy, sell, however many of each, whatever it took. And I just closed my 12th transaction last week, and it was actually my mom.
Good job. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So did you all hear that? So last year her production 4. This year 12. She tripled her production. So this is the kind of stuff that can happen in real estate. You're not going to be tripling your take home from Walgreens.
No.
That's not
Never.
what's going to happen. Even if you're job switching from going from maybe one firm to another, but in the same industry, you're probably not tripling your income. Certainly not every year. But that is something that can happen in real estate.
And it does happen every year, all the time. And one of the biggest things I've learned is that you don't have to be some super special human to do that. You just have to be committed. And I learned that at Mega Camp. It was like, all these people are just normal people, and they've just committed to a plan, and now they're kicking butt. They're not.
2 seconds to explain Mega Camp for people who are not inundated with Keller Williams culture.
Yeah. So Mega Camp is a yearly conference where Gary Keller and all of Keller Williams comes together and, really just talks to the best of the best. Like, we're talking mega agents, Mega Camp. So you get to hear from people who are from all over the country, all over the world, because KW is international, about how they do their job, how they do their business, how they are building a huge business. So it was awesome.
So having come away from Mega Camp, having crushed your goals this year, talk about the future, Lauren. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
That's a great question. I think my vision of the future and where I'm going, it changes a lot because I'm constantly surprising myself. Like we talked about, you start in this business as in the first year, like, oh my God, I have to call the people I know and say I'm a real estate agent, like, scary, right? So I think in 5 years, what I know is that I would like to build a team. Now, will that be in 5 years? Will that be in 10? That I'm still working on. I'm actually doing a lot of coaching with Rob right now to kind of start building the platform for that. So I'd love to have a team. I'd love to step out of being the main producing agent and be able to have someone below me who's helping me build the business, and that can start to build their own underneath me and on my platform. So that's certainly the future, but for now it's just to keep keep going.
Yeah.
Don't let the fear stop me.
And one of the things that I'm thinking about as I'm listening to you talk about is one of the benefits of why you joined a team was because they already have a lot of these models in place for you to cut down the learning curve.
Yes.
What could have taken someone a decade to build, you could then master in that first year, right? And that cuts down how long it takes for you to now expand into your goals and your targets.
Yeah.
So I think
It's
that's
powerful.
a really cool thing that you are kind of proving out the idea that you can step into a model, work it hard, and really be successful.
Yeah, I think you learn that real fast is if you don't plug in somewhere, you don't plug in, and not only just plugging in, but plugging in the right space, in this business, you'll get eaten alive.
Oh, yeah.
You need to have people above you and beside you and all around you saying like, hey, no, keep going. Make those 10 calls. Keep making your 10 calls, right? And you kind of get annoyed. You're like, oh, God, 10 calls. I don't want to, right? But you keep hearing it and you're like, oh, I know that's what I have to do.
Yeah, 100%.
It's game changer, right? We're building businesses that thankfully the people above us were like, hey, here's exactly how I did it. Now do it.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, intangible that how powerful that is.
It's like on the one hand, you have that safety net and you have that comfort of having people there that you can learn and grow from their model. But at the same time, it is still your business and you can do with it what you want to do, right? If you decide that today you only have it in you to make 5 calls because you need to set aside some time for family or friends, you can do that.
Yeah.
Right? You don't have to wait until 5 p.m. to clock out.
Yep.
But by the same token, if you feel like you're behind, you could put in that 18-hour day. Right?
Yep.
And no one's going to stop you.
100%.
It's all on your decision.
Yes. Right? Which is awesome.
Yeah. Okay, so Lauren, where can people find out more about you?
The best place to find out about me is on Instagram. I am at Home with Lauren, and I'm sure these fine folks will throw up my @ name on the screen so you can find me. But Instagram is my place. I use it not only as my real estate space to share information and, educate my followers and friends, but also to kind of give you a little bit about me. I post a lot about my life too, so that's the best place to find me.
Awesome. Lauren, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I'm
All
so
right.
honored.
Thanks, guys. And make sure that you please like, comment, subscribe, do the thing. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye, guys.